Hey Pisces, how's it going? This is your May forecast, and this is a month of rock and roll. Now stay tuned because by the end of this month, wow, not only have you processed a lot, but there's a really transformational type of energy with new beginnings this month, and that's going to set you off for June. So we want to stay tuned for it, but this is something that I know that you're going to come to love, love, love. Let's start out with your sun, okay? It's traveling all by itself in the third house for communication, short distance travel. You might have found yourself here end of April already doing short trips and whatnot, but that will follow you through May, at least until the third week. So also more communication, interaction, perhaps with siblings as well. Anything of communication, you've got the gift of gab right now, Pisces. So I'm loving that for you. But where the true action is taking place, if you now focus and use your energies right and the opportunities that are around you, the thoughts and the visions that you hold, this can have major impact on your income. Venus is now moved into your second house of income. It comes around once a year, and being in the sign of Aries, that is you taking on leadership, initiating, instigating, bringing forward. Think about the conquistadors. That's who the Arians are. They're full of energy. And for you right now, you have had Uranus in your second house for income these last years, so you've seen your money like this, right? And those peaks are really good. You can really come now to activate that peak of your income. Venus, I feel, is already set by the time May 1st hits. Okay, so April is preparing you for what it is. You already have those thoughts going in, but let's start top of the month, because why? You're going to have a vision on May 4th with your ruler, so that's Neptune, alongside with the sun, which is the essence of you. This vision, not only is it good, but boy can it hold a lot of oomph and power for you. Your Neptune is in the first house, so it's triggering your own creativity. And the sun being in your third house, if you're needing to do a presentation, bring together a proposal on whatever this creative project may be, this would be the time to do so. It's a great time, that whole first week, because not only is the sun and Neptune together, but the sun is coming in with that powerful dynamic of Pluto. Pluto never does anything small, in small terms. It does it in big terms, right? So Pluto being in your 11th house, I feel that you're targeting something for larger groups, and that could be very profitable for you because of Venus in that second house. It's operating. You now communicating, bringing out this proposal to a larger audience. This can be exceptional. On the 10th, you got Mercury and Uranus working together. That is unexpected surprises. So whatever it is you propose there throughout that first week, and already there on the 9th, you can hear some feedback already on the 10th. Mercury and Uranus. Uranus always brings that unexpected surprise, right? Uranus, that's your second house. That is money. So somebody there, it could be a contractor, it could be whoever it is you're working with in these groups, that can bring you news to feel that now things are up and running. I feel there's agreements here with this Mercury and Uranus, and so for that, things can initiate, things can start, and it can start very quickly. It's like anytime Uranus acts, it's that lightning bolt that comes out of the blue. It's going to hit your second house. Mercury is there, Venus is there, so we're all good. And Pluto being involved, we know it's not little, it's something big. I feel it's something you've been working on, preparing for there in April. But yeah, if we can talk about your Mars though, because we talked about the conquistador energy of that Venus in your second house. Mars is direct and moving forward. And this has to do with Mars now plowing the fields of your foundation, your home, your family, your security, who you are on the inside. You are feeling that much more empowered. There could be things of real estate coming up. If you're thinking about moving, this would be a great time to do so, because Mars is in this beautiful aspect here Also, the new moon is showing up, not before May 25th, however, but it is new beginnings in your home, in your foundation, within your family. So we know that the new moon is always when we plant our seeds, right? So it is a whole year before we get this opportunity again. So whatever you've been doing throughout that whole month, when the new moon comes around, you want to just give yourself that affirmation. I want more of this. Not waiting for next year when the new moon comes back, but I want a little bit of this reactivated every month as the moon passes and comes back to this area. So knowing that Mars is up and running and very direct, and your Venus is focusing on wanting to amplify your income. On the 11th, however, we said there was good news on the 10th, but on the 11th, there might be a little bit of a letdown or feeling like something is slipping. And why is that? I said Mars was in a good position. That's why I wanted to mention it. And it is. But it's squaring Neptune here on this day. And of course, Neptune rules the ocean. It rules water. Trying to hold water in your hand. It's there now and then something slips through. That is how you're going to feel initially on the 11th. That there is a disappointment. Something is slipping. But don't let it get you, because before the day is over, who's coming to the rescue if not Mercury and Saturn? Meaning that it can be clarified by taking charge, taking a lead. Mercury communicates, Saturn secures, and since they're in this golden triangle, I feel that by you taking charge here, you will have it all set in stone before the end of the day. And then we're back to good, and Mars will pass this, right? It's just giving you, after this high, this feeling of a little dip, but then you're back up again. So talk about the extremes within just a 24-hour period. So you're forewarned. Then we have on the 12th, my goodness, Pisces. Here we go. Mars beautifully aligned to Jupiter, even though Jupiter is still slow. It just started to go in its direct motion on the 10th. So it's not retrograde. It is moving forward, but it's still a little sleepy, but it is moving forward. Beautifully aligned to your Mars. Jupiter for you is in your 8th house for royalties, commissions, investments. It could be mortgages, your retirement funds, whatever it is. Monies that you have out there, that shared resources. It is now moving forward where it's been asleep. So you might have felt that things have been a little slower maybe, but it is given you time to explore these other creative channels that have opened up for you. So you're now ready to go, and when Mars comes in here in your home foundation, in the base of your own inner core, this is locking in something now that you could have maybe a contract of good commissions, good royalties. I would say if you have anything that you're going to bring out there, do it now, this month. If you do, this can be with you for a new 12-year cycle where Jupiter is picking up this for you, and this could filter throughout the oncoming years. So it's got longevity. Remember too, Saturn is looking out for you in the long term. On the 16th, we are shifting our mindset. We're coming out of Aries, where we've been the initiator. We've been busy acting, taking action. Now, Mercury is going to be thinking about security. That's what Taurus does best. Taurus always is looking out for how they can secure money, funds, anything that's of value, important to them. We might be a little bit more bullheaded, stubborn. Sometimes we need to do that, regardless of what sign we are or wherever our Mercury is in our birth chart. It moves through one sign every month. So there's like 12 phases, 12 filters that we all go through and express throughout the year. So Mercury right now, being in the sign of Taurus, which for you is in your 3rd house, means that you're going to be very focused on details, on securing the way you communicate, the way you interact with talks, reviews, interviews, proposals, whatever you write, contracts. 3rd house is all about documents and so forth. You're going to be very focused on what takes place here. So on the 19th, though, we have more unexpected news coming in. And this is Uranus again. Even though Saturn is retrograde until August 6th, Pisces, Uranus is moving forward. Saturn has been working behind the scenes for you in this retrograde. And since it's a golden triangle, it is a blessed aspect between these two planets to bring to you something of your career, because Saturn is working in your career house. Uranus is in your money house. So the two of them coming together in this trine, you might just see Pandora's box open up and whoa, here we have new income stream possibilities. It could be a new job, it could be a new career, it could be a promotion. If you're doing your own business, you might see that's where it's all going to come in. So you're super excited. And I think here on the 19th, you're going to be so excited, you're going to go, what do I do now? Because there's choices. Venus and Jupiter are in opposition on the very same day. But I don't feel it's going to be a difficult opposition, actually. I think it's more a jolt of energy. The surprise of what is coming to you is like, well, what do I do? Do I run out and spend the money? That's Venus in the second house, right? Do I go out and spend? Or do I put this into savings? That's where Jupiter is, working for you for the long run to save and grow your investment monies. So you might have to make some choices, but whenever you're feeling stretched like that, it's always a good idea to just wait a few days to that overexcitement kind of slows down a little bit. Then you have a better perspective on it. On the 20th, the Sun is moving into your 4th house, so it has been communicating. It's been a great communicative month with the Sun in the 3rd house. So now it's more like settling down into your home, spending time, more time, should I say, with family members. On the 25th, lay low. That's all I want to say about that, because Venus and Pluto, they're squaring. It's not going to last long. One day it's going to be intense, but you're having the lead up. The day before you can feel it, maybe a couple of days before the 25th. And you might feel the aftermath for a day or two. It's just people are on edge. People are triggered very easily, or maybe you could become triggered. It's all those things that you have been suppressing, not bringing out, issues that have just been there. Pluto's going to bring it out, and whatever pent-up resentments, that might come out. So, uh-oh. Don't try to have rational talks with anybody who is so powered up in this negative energy, because they're not listening. They're going to be very defensive, and that will, just open up a can of worms that we don't like. On the 28th, but before I leave you on that is the 25th, right? But that is also the day of the new moon, right? And so that new moon for you is in the 4th house of family. So there could be a family situation also that can get a brunt of this Pluto-Venus. So hopefully not. The Pluto is not in the family area. That is in the area of groups or friendships or so forth. So that's where that Pluto-Venus is going to take out. But the new moon is in the area of the home. We're coming close to the end of the month. This is now Mercury and Neptune. We'll go back to the vision that I mentioned early on with the Sun and your ruler Neptune. You had that vision, and the difference between having a creative thought. A thought is a thought, it's linear, so you don't see the whole thing. You start somewhere and you got to work through it. But in a vision, you could see the beginning, you could see the end result. And when you see the end result, you know exactly where to navigate. So that's the power of vision. Now, on the 28th, you're going to be sharing this vision, and you're going to be getting feedback from it. So this is when I feel that you now are going to see where this can go. And the last day of this month, Mars and Uranus is in a sextile. That's your energy moving forward with all these new things that have opened up for you financially. You're kind of thinking, well, wow, what an opportunity. Now I can do this. Now I can do that. Whatever that is for you, I feel it has to do with a whole new foundation of your new directions. And at the same time, Mercury and Pluto are conjuncting, and that is allowing you to speak with power and empowerment. You have the gift of gab. Whoever you're communicating with, They feel you're in control, you know your stuff, you know where you're heading. It is solid. Now, if the month ends on this note, this is exactly how June is going to start off for you. So you've got to stay tuned to hear the rest of this saga, because May is a game changer, Pisces. I'm super excited for you. Now the full moon, did I mention that? I didn't. That is taking place on May 10th in your 9th house. So there could be news from afar. Maybe you will be traveling on this day, and in that case it should be very, very good, because this is the area where things are now floodlit and you are on center stage with this. That's what I have for you here for May. I will see you next month. Have a great month, Pisces.